CQ, calling all stations to the South Central Area Net. This is K9OPL, Kilo Alpha 9, Oscar Papa Lima. My name is Joe, serving as net control for this session of the South Central Area Net. This net meets every Tuesday evening, beginning at 8:30 p.m. local time on the Columbus Amateur Radio Club 2-meter repeater, operating on a frequency of 146.79 megahertz with a minus offset and a PL tone of 103.5 hertz. It meets for the purpose of passing traffic, promoting good fellowship among amateur radio operators, and practicing net procedures. This is a directed net. Please direct all traffic through net control. Net control station once again this evening is KA9OPL. My name is Joe, located in Columbus, Bartholomew County. To begin, do we have anyone holding emergency, priority, or welfare traffic? Throughout the net, please alert me with the words break, break, and I will assist you with your emergency. Do we have any non-emergency routine traffic, routine type traffic? Give your name and give your FCC call sign using standard ITU phonetics. You can also give it in plain English as well. Do we have any announcements for the net this evening? With another station following the net, please call. We will move on to short time check-ins. If you do check in short time, it means that you do not wish to stand by for comments later and you will not be called. We do wish you to stand by after you've been acknowledged. You may be free to leave if you so desire, but after you do check in, stand by until you've been acknowledged. So short time stations, please call.
N9 VDU, November 9, Victor Delta Uniform, Scott. Good evening, Joe.
Whiskey Bravo 9, Sierra Mike Charlie, Don, Bartholomew County. Good evening, Joe.
Kilo 9, Romeo Mike Romeo. Repeat, K9RMR, Randall and Rueff, Tazewell, Indiana, Bartholomew County. Short time this evening. Good evening.
November 9, that's Victor, Lee County.
Okay, I'll list the ones that I do have, and we'll see if we have more. N9 VDU, WB9 SMC, K9RMR, and N9 QVO. Other short time stations. OPL with the South Central Area Net. We'll move on to regular check-ins, and we'll take stations with suffixes that begin with the letters Alpha through Hotel.
Delta Kilo, John, Columbus.
JT Noel, Bartholomew County.
Any others? Alpha through Hotel?
November 9, Juliet Foxtrot Hotel, N9 JFH, Paul, Westport, Decatur County.
Whiskey 9er Romeo, Whiskey Romeo, W9RWR, Rick, Bartholomew County. Columbus, Bartholomew County.
W9RWR. Got you. W9MDT. India through Romeo. Let's go again. Zulu, please. Before we begin comments. Alpha through Zulu. Anyone else?
K9NRZ, Kilo Delta 9er, November Romeo Zulu, Rick, Decatur County.
Alpha Charlie 9, Tango Romeo, Howard, Bartholomew County, no comments.
K9NRZ and AC9TR. One more call, any stations, Alpha through Zulu. A short time list, and we'll go to KG9DK for comments. Good evening, John.
This is KG9DK. Good evening, Joe, and the rest of the net. Been sort of busy. The weather getting nicer and being able to work outside some. I did receive my 2-meter and 440 antenna from Ed Fong. It's called a DBJ-1 dual band, and it's made with twin lead and some pieces of coax, and you insert that into a piece of PCB pipe, and it has to be a particular kind. I think it's a lighter construction, and he indicated it affects the RF if you don't get the right one. Anyhow, that's another project that I'll be working on in days ahead. That's about it for now. Back to you, Joe, KG9DK.
Okay, well, yeah, I'm familiar with that. I believe that's the one that comes with the little PVC cap on one end of it, soldered with a connector. I think it's a regular SO239 on that one. So good. I hope that works out well for you. And I think that particular one, the higher, and if you get it in the clear, it's going to do better in terms of keeping the SWR. And yeah, you have to use, I forget what they call it, but you don't want the heavy Schedule 40 stuff. It will definitely, the heavy, I think it's 200 PSI is what you need. He tells you in the documentation, but if you don't use the right one, your SWR will be out of sight. So, yeah, it's good that you pay attention to that. Next up, N9 CJT. Good evening, Noel.
Hi, Joe. Not much to report from here. However, I would like an IF with, now I forgot his call, Paul in Westport. K9JFH, I think it is. And that's all I've got. Back to you, N9CJT.
It's N9JFH, and okay. Actually, Paul's up next, so he can acknowledge the IF if he'll be around. N9JFH, good evening, Paul, your turn.
I can acknowledge that. I am here, and probably what I was going to say might have something to do with what he wanted to discuss with me anyway, but yeah, I've been wanting to get involved with WinLink, and I did contact Tigertronics and ordered the signal link, the cables, and the plug and plays that I need to accommodate all the equipment that I've got, and so I'll have some new toys to play with here in a few days, but I definitely can use some help, probably learning to set it all up. Not much else happening here in Westport, so I'll return it to net control. This is N9JFH.
Okay, very good, Paul. Well, I've been kind of doing the same thing. I've got the signal link already, and that is a really good interface, and at least I think it is. Easy to get set up with WinLink, but the problem I'm having with WinLink right now is the software is partly accessible to someone like me that uses a screen reader, but part of it is not particularly, so I'm having to learn some things to get it to navigate properly for me. I did get it to transmit and receive, but I did not actually get it to send out any email yet. So, step at a time, I guess. Thanks for being there, and always appreciate it. W9RWR, Rick, good evening. Good to hear you on there tonight.
Not much going on here. It was a beautiful day. Had to go buy a lawnmower and mow the lawn. One of those is inevitable. The other one was kind of painful, but you know, you do what you got to do. Right now I got the soldering iron out and I'm trying to repair an antenna and just listening to folks talk. Nothing to add. Good to hear everybody. Back to net control, W9RWR.
All right, very good. Well, thanks, Rick, and good to have you around right now where you can check in. I know we'd all rather be able to get out, but hey, at least we'll take the benefits, whatever benefits we do get. W9MDT, Mike, your turn.
K9OPL, this is W9MDT. Good evening to you and everybody on the net. Yeah, it's good to hear so many people on tonight. I guess that's one of the advantages, using your words there, of the lockdown. But I know that's not very pleasurable. But anyhow, don't have a whole lot. So I'll turn it back to you, K9OPL. This is W9MDT, back to net control.
Okay, very good, Mike. I was going to kind of joke and say, yeah, it seems like it's not been very long since I talked to a few of you, since we had our on-the-air get-together earlier for SCI CSG, and that went well. And some of you may be interested in this Saturday will be the next virtual hams and eggs, I guess I'll call it, on this repeater at 7 a.m. You'll have to provide your own ham and eggs and sit down with a radio in your hand. And of course tomorrow we have our DC Aries net. Thursday night is the D-Star net at 8 p.m. Reflector 24B for those who have D-Star capabilities. Tomorrow's net 7:30 as usual. Let's see. Kilo Delta 9 November Romeo Zulu. You're up next.
Yeah, I would have checked in short time, but I missed that part of the check-in. I got a property about 3 miles drive from where I live. I'm over there working. The box cut out a bunch of roots and stuff. Got in the truck and heard the net going on, so 73, KD, back.
Yes, he did. Howard was short time. This is K9OPL. I'm at the bottom of the current list. Do we have any other check-ins for the net this evening? Please call now.
W9BAG from Columbus.
In there. Your turn.
Joe, nice to hear from you and everybody in the group. We only have one department running over at Forcia. It's I believe it's John Deere, and apparently they've been given the essential work status, but the rest of the plant is still shut down until further notice. And I'm ready for life to get back to normal, for sure. I've just been staying down in my office in the basement and watching Netflix and just having a time, for sure. Yeah, this is just nuts. This is crazy. Lots of conspiracy theories going on. It is what it is, but it sure is good to hear all these people out here on ham radio, for sure. This has been keeping me semi-sane, for sure. Good to hear all you good folks out there. And with that, I'll turn it back to Joe as net control. W9BAG, Columbus.
Hey, thanks, Brad. Very good. Good to hear you in there. And yep, it's a little bit different out there right now, but we'll get back to more routine in the near future, hopefully. Well, this is K9OPL at the bottom of the list again. Do we have additional check-ins for the net this evening? Please call. While we're still assembled, this is K9OPL standing by. For being here this evening, good net, good group, and always appreciate everybody's participation. I'm going to close the net I'm going to call it 8:50 local time. Good evening all, K9OPL. Returning this repeater to normal operation, and look forward to doing it again next week. 73's all, K9OPL clear.
N9JFH and 9CJT.
N9CJT, this is N9JFH.
Did I hear you say you had already ordered the signal link?
Yes, I actually got on the internet last night and got on Tigertronics website, and then I was very careful because I did have I actually downloaded it and put it in a file, but to make sure that you ordered the right one to go with your radio, and since the connecting cable actually comes with, all I had to do is buy an extra connecting cable for one of my other radios, but I did have to buy both of the plug and play as well.
Okay. Well, I guess in a way I might be sorry to hear that. I got some information from Jack W9ISH today. I'm sorry, W8ISH, which says, and I quote, "As for the FTDX 1200, that should be an easy plug-and-play connection using a direct USB cable. They will need to download the SCU17 USB adapter software and use CPS 210X driver from Silicon Labs to create the two digital codex audio sound ports." He then says use the enhanced port as your default to control the radio. So anyway, that's his take on things. When I looked at the back of the radio, I didn't see a port for a USB cable, and I did see a DB9, which is the older hookup. But anyway, that's Jack's comments. Back to you.
I do have another cable that I ordered when I ordered the unit. I cannot find my CD-ROM, but I did buy a CD that if you wanted to program the entire 1200 with that, and it actually goes right into a port in the back, but the other end is a USB, and it goes right into my laptop. And just for the fun of it, before I made that order with Tigertronics, I plugged that in the data port. It was around 6-pin, I believe, but went into the data port, but the other side with a USB, I did put that in the laptop, and it recognized that it was just a program that is made to program your radio with your PC, but it would not allow me to do anything with the signal link, or excuse me, with the WIN link.
Roger. Well, if you've got a Tigertronics / signal link on the way with the appropriate cable, it may actually be pretty close to plug and play. You will, of course, have to tell it. Did they tell you anything about downloading adapter software?
Negative. I think that they used to do that, but they actually have what they call a plug-and-play, and so you actually have to open up the signal link, and they have full instructions with it, and there's just a little tiny 12-pin chip is what that plug-and-play is, and basically per radio, it doesn't matter whether it's Kenwood, ICOM, Yaesu, whatever, you buy the plug-and-play specifically for your radio, and when you open that up, you just insert that, and if you want to take that out to you and then put a different plug-and-play in for a different radio, just take needle nose pliers, pull that out, and then reinsert the other plug-and-play unit, and then the correct cable, and that signal link, they said, is adaptable to every single radio that is currently on the market.
Roger, that's true. And if you knew what jumpers you needed to connect, you could have done it without the little plug-and-play chip. But simplicity is worth something anyway. Jack says it takes a little setting up at first, but a friendly Elmer can eliminate a lot of frustration. I'm afraid this particular Elmer, if I were to be one, might create a lot of frustration, but that's another story. I just don't have a clue about Yaesu radios as far as getting them hooked up. I have experience now with both ICOM and Elecraft radios, hooking them up for digital operation, but and the Elecraft was very straightforward and never gave me a moment's trouble, but the ICOM was beyond me, and if it hadn't been for K9JAJ, I would not have learned what the issue was with my ICOM not transmitting. I mean, it would go into transmit, but there was simply no signal going out. And I've since gone through all my settings and all of the settings that Jeff sent me and discovered that the only significant difference is that my radio was default value of 20% audio drive, and for it to work, it has to be 40% or above.
Yeah, I had noticed on the website of Tigertronics that I could have done the jumper if I knew, but you know the chip was only $10, and I figured that's a less headache probably than doing something wrong and ruining something a lot more expensive. So I just opted to go the easy route and spend the extra $10.
Cool beans. Okay. Well, let me know when you. Well, maybe you've already done this. Have you downloaded the WinLink software? Over.
Yeah, Roger, I have done that. As a matter of fact, I had that, 3-4 years ago, and it's just been an icon on my screen, and I've never even opened it up. I've used FLDigi a lot, but I've just never even bothered with that one. Until just recently when I heard that they wanted somebody for the Decatur County, the section welfare net, and I thought, wow, I've got capabilities, let me look at this. And when I opened it up, I thought, oh, I can't use this yet. And but anyway, when I did open it up the other day, and it still said that I had to have a registration key, and so I followed the entire process and set all the settings up. And then it gave me a hyperlink, got online, got their registration key, and put that in, and it did open up the software. So I think that I'll probably be okay. And I played around with a little bit. I've been watching a couple YouTube videos of a fellow that has a series of videos out. But, yeah, we'll see where it goes.
Okay. Well, if you want to practice before you get your radio hooked up, you can always use the Telnet WinLink version. to send and receive via internet, and then just switch over to using the radio when you get all the connections set up. But you could see if you're actually doing it right and getting the various fields that you have to have populated in order for it to work at all in place using Telnet. And you could just fill out the form. Well, for example, you could send me a WinLink message just by putting my call sign in, and it would find me. It's pretty amazing stuff. N9CJT, back to you, Paul.
Yeah, I know we talked a little bit about it with ELU last night and such, and talked about maybe of it Decatur once we're back into the EM for our monthly meeting, is having somebody, maybe JJ or somebody, come over and do a session. Somebody had suggested the idea of over the radio session or something, but I really think in-house, hands-on, at least I'm better learning that way, I think.
Could be, but I had a chance to watch W8ISH walk through, well, I called it walking through WinLink, and he did it on the air on the 146.835 repeater this past Saturday morning. Took several people through from not having the software at all to being able to send messages with it in a matter of about an hour.
Got connected as well. But anyway, it'll be something that we'll play around with, and eventually we'll learn it, I'm sure. And yeah, but thanks for getting back with me.
No problem. Jack is willing to follow up as well. He says he cannot hit the Let's repeater, but said, and I quote, maybe we could use Zoom as a group, or he could call individuals on the phone and walk them through the setup process, or whatever the group would like to do over there. So pass that along to Mike if you would, and if he lets me know, I can let Jack know, and if we get out from under this Chicken Little virus stupidity, maybe even Jack would come over for a meeting with you guys. That might be the easiest way. Well, maybe not, because you wouldn't be sitting at your own computers trying it out live. But anyway, those are the possibilities. N9JFH, N9CJT. I'll get it right someday, Paul.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm having a hard time with all the new ones too, since I've moved out of Kentucky and into here. But anyway, yeah, it probably would work for me, because I'd just take my laptop up there. Of course, I wouldn't be able to connect it with my radio, but I could at least watch what he's doing on the computer, and maybe I'd learn something that way. But either way, I'm open for any kind of help, instruction I can get. And once again, thanks for the informal. N9CJT, this is N9JFH.
Okay, Paul, good night. And 7-3 from N9CJT.
N9CJT, N9PEP.
Hi, Greg.
Hello, Noel. How are you doing?
Doing all right. And you?
Well, got my bad days and my good days. And I missed the Saturday morning. Got tied up with work, and been to doctors the last 2 days. Yeah, so that might tell you how I'm doing.
I get the picture. Well, maybe another time.
Oh yeah, I spent an hour with the doctor this afternoon. So, but I got a few questions answered and stuff that I really wanted to see. So, but other than that, I'm doing good. I don't know what to think right now, but wanted to let you know if you let me know if you can when they're going to have that next session, if they're going to have another one up there, and I'm going to try to go to it, even though I don't have anything hooked up to radio yet, like the other guy. I can at least try to get everything set up and have an idea how to do it.
Roger that. If you've got a couple minutes, do you still have my phone number?
Hold on just a second.
Fine. You a text with my number on it. N9CJT clear.
Okay. I'll give you a call here in just a second. N9PEP.